Hello and welcome. You're watching The Buck Stops Here and I'm Barkha Dutt. The big political story tonight, these twin images of Parliament tell their own story. As the Prime Minister was speaking in the Rajya Sabha concluding the debate on the Constitution, Rahul Gandhi was making a frontal attack on the government in the Lok Sabha. As the Prime Minister called for consensus, Rahul Gandhi's attack took a direct aim at General VK Singh, Union Minister, even going so far as to question the Prime Minister why General VK Singh is still in the cabinet. Rahul, of course, was referring to an earlier controversy when General VK Singh, speaking in the context of Dalit children, had used a misplaced metaphor and an analogy of dogs. And that's what Rahul Gandhi brought up in the speech as uproar erupted in Parliament. Separately, Congress leader Shashi Tharoor said you can't promote Make in India if you're also promoting hate in India. How does the BJP see this frontal attack from Rahul Gandhi, and how did both leaders come out sounding in Parliament? Let's introduce our panel today. Joining us from the BJP, Nalin Kohli. Joining us from the Congress, Sushmita Dev, Member of Parliament. KC Tyagi, Senior Leader and of the JDU and Member of Parliament, is with us, as is Tavleen Singh, author, commentator and columnist. Nalin, let me start by asking you how you react to Rahul Gandhi going so far as to say that the Prime Minister cannot defend the Constitution if in his government there are leaders like General VK Singh who subvert it with the language they have used.
Well, the risk with rhetoric is facts will demolish it. Then by the same logic as Mr. Rahul Gandhi uses, within his family tree, directly his grandmother subverted the Constitution in 1975 to 77. Emergency. It was media censorship. People were jailed. What are his views on that? So this kind of rhetoric, I think, is dangerous, particularly when you take it from a narrow prism. Mr. Rahul Gandhi picks up on General VK Singh, but General VK Singh clarified his tweet. He thereafter even regretted it. Mr. Rajnath Singh commented on it. The media looked at that comment as a snub coming from the Home Minister. Whereas Mr. Rahul Gandhi ever expressed views. He took up the case of Dabholkar, which is actually under the NCP.
Rahul Gandhi is questioning, Nalin, why he's still in the cabinet and saying that the presence of such a minister subverts. He's somebody who took oath on the Constitution but subverted it.
Well, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is probably living with the nostalgic, in a nostalgic era in terms of how the government ran under the UPA, where power was emasculated from the Prime Minister's office, the authority, and transferred to the party president. So what did the Congress do, or what is Mr. Rahul Gandhi's views on Mr. Dabholkar's murder, which he clubbed now, Mr. Kulbargi's murder?
Yeah.
Now it's 90 days, not a single person arrested by the Karnataka government. And if I may remind him, it's a Congress government. Just two more things.
Yeah.
TJ George's hand being chopped. Another person murdered in Kerala in front of his students. 2 Dalit people burnt to death in a Congress-ruled state of Haryana. There are incidents. So either Mr. Rahul Gandhi has to have a holistic view, or he'll be accused of just another speech based on rhetoric and selective picking up and making an attack on the Prime Minister where none could have been made.
Okay, Sushmita Dev, I think it's an interesting and important point that Nalin raises, that when Rahul speaks about the attacks on rationalists, actually Narendra Dabholkar, when he was killed, it was the Congress at the center and the Congress NCP in Maharashtra. So, and Kalburgi, again in a Congress-led government, where Nalin is saying no arrests have been made. So how can the Congress lay the blame for these incidents, for example, at the Prime Minister or the BJP's door?
See, Barkha, the intention of raising this in the Parliament for everyone to debate was not who did what, how, when, which government. The NDA government, whenever the communal violence rates go down, they want to take credit for it. And when the communal violence rates go up, they say it's the state government. The reason this debate was raised in the Parliament is because of the growing public perception that this government is complicit in the intolerance that is growing in the country. And we were hoping that in the course of the debate, everybody will express their views, and the government will come forward and allay those fears. But what actually happened? It is not about, oh, you did this and I did this and who did what.
But the fact
you keep talking about the emergency.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that. The fact is, Sushmita, let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. My question is that if Rahul Gandhi says General VK Singh, with the language he used, has subverted the Constitution, then Indira Gandhi's decision to impose emergency and the blot that is left on the Congress record will always stand out as an example of the Congress subverting the Constitution. So, in a sense, it looks like you have no moral authority to make the claims that you're making. That's what the BJP would say.
See, let me tell you, in that case, Prime Minister Modi's image, to whatever extent, was starred in 2002, which the BJP doesn't want to talk about. They say respect the mandate.
I can talk about
yes,
it.
we respect the mandate. But the perception about this government, why is it negative? Why is it communal? Surely it's not without any reason, because Prime Minister Modi himself was a chief minister, i.e. state government.
Yeah.
So if you blame me for Kalburgi, then blame Narendra Modi for Gujarat riots. He was the chief minister then.
Quick response, Nalin, then I want to go to Mr. Tyagi and Tavleen. Yes.
Certainly, Ms. Dev has perhaps committed a great self-goal, because what she has gone ahead and done is spoken about perception, and the question will arise, who has ruined the perception of India in that sense by constantly harping on rhetoric, making false allegations and never basing it on facts, which is the Congress party. If I look at the figures
Which
of
is the
2010 right up to
Nalin, which is the false
2015,
allegation?
the
Nalin,
lowest.
which is the false allegation?
I'm coming up. If I'm talking of communal violence, is the lowest in 2015, the number of incidents, as compared
Then
to
it's the
2010,
advantage of
11,
state
12,
governments.
13, 14. So therefore, one. Number two is, on Gujarat, how many
can't
things
say
were said?
heads is also
What kind
mine
of
and
tolerant
tails is
language was
also
used
mine.
for Mr. Narendra Modi, calling him Bandar, Gachi, murderer, Ganguram Teli, as recent as, a couple of weeks ago by the Youth Congress leaders. So I think the Congress has a double stance. They create a negative perception. They want that negative perception to hold. That negative doesn't hold because the facts go against
Okay,
it.
I want to get
And then
KC
they
Tyagi.
blame the BJP for a non-existent problem.
केसी त्यागी, आज आपने कहा कि ऐसे लगता है कि कुछ लोग पाकिस्तान के लिए ट्रैवल एजेंट्स बन गए हैं, जो बार बार कोई अपना बयान दे तो कहा जाता है आप पाकिस्तान चले जाइए. आपको क्या लगता है कि ये सबसे जो सीरियस मामला है आज देश के सामने, वो क्या है त्यागी जी?
बरखा जी, हमने अटल जी के नेतृत्व में भी NDA 1 और NDA 2 में भी काम किया. कंधमाल में घटना हुई थी जहां क्रिश्चियन मिशनरी परिवार को जला दिया था.
जी.
अटल जी का बयान मैं कोट करता हूं
जी.
कि मेरा सर शर्म से झुक जा रहा है इस घटना के बाद. भारत और भारतीयता समूचे विश्व की चिंता करने वाले हैं और हमारा धर्म भी इसकी इजाजत नहीं देता है.
जी.
ऐसी ही लगभग घटना दादरी में होती है, जब बगैर किसी कारण के खान पान को लेकर के एक मुस्लिम की हत्या बेवजह कर दी जाती है और वहां पर मंत्री जाके कहते हैं कि जो लोग पकड़े गए हैं उनकी हम तन मन धन और गन से मदद करेंगे.
जी.
तो ये अनकॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल है. अटल जी के समय में ऐसी घटना होती थी, वो रिएक्ट करते थे. उन्होंने गोधरा पे भी रिएक्ट किया था.
जी.
और एक बार राम जेठमलानी साहब ने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के बारे में कोई खराब टिप्पणी की थी, जिसका मैं जिक्र करना ठीक नहीं समझता. वो पूना से मुंबई के रास्ते में आ रहे थे, तो जसवंत सिंह जी ने कह करके राम जेठमलानी साहब का इस्तीफा ले लिया था. यहाँ 5 मंत्री हैं जो मिनिस्टर होते हुए, वन गिरिराज सिंह, निरंजन ज्योति, साक्षी महाराज, बाल्यान जी और महेश शर्मा.
साक्षी महाराज इज नॉट अ मंत्री. साक्षी महाराज मंत्री नहीं है.
आई एम सॉरी, निरंजन ज्योति,
निरंजन ज्योति, गिरिराज सिंह, बाल्यान और महेश शर्मा मंत्री. साक्षी महाराज
महेश शर्मा एंड VK सिंह
जी.
और बरखा जी, महेश शर्मा कहते हैं यद्यपि कलाम मुसलमान थे लेकिन फिर भी वो देशभक्त थे. क्या ऐसी टिप्पणियों के बाद भी किसी मंत्री को मंत्रिमंडल में प्रधानमंत्री को रखना चाहिए?
त्यागी जी, एक मिनट तवलीन से बयान ले लेते हैं. Nalin, then I'll come to you. Tavleen, what's interesting is there are a number of people who have actually declared themselves to be admirers of the Prime Minister. Jagdish Bhagwati, for example, is one such eminent economist. But he said to me recently in an interview that A, the Prime Minister needs a media advisor. B, Dadri was a really costly mistake. His silence has proved costly. Do you believe that Rahul Gandhi has struck a chord when he says that the Prime Minister is far too silent, that when these ministers whom KC Tyagi has listed make inflammatory comments, when Dadri lynching happens, when motor-mouth MPs shoot their mouths off, when Sakshi Maharaj praises Nathuram Godse, are even admirers of this government getting concerned at the perception or losing the narrative, in a sense, the development narrative especially?
Okay, let me begin by saying that I believe that this whole intolerance debate is fraudulent. I've written it before. I believe, and when I listened to Rahul Gandhi today, it was exactly what the writers have been saying. India is no more intolerant today than it was before. Let me make that clear. I have said also before, and I will say it again, that the Prime Minister should not have remained silent after Dadri. But today, when I was listening to Rahul Gandhi, what really put me off as an Indian is the manner in which he addressed the Prime Minister. He said, "You're Narendra Modi," to the BJP, who is now the Prime Minister of India. You know, that reflected to me that he has still not accepted that this man did win an election. Having said that, for General VK Singh and those people to still be in the cabinet is a mistake. They have spoken irresponsibly, and they should not be ministers in the government of India.
So you believe, Tavleen, who do you believe should no longer be in the cabinet?
1 minute, Barkha, let me finish.
No, I'm asking you to finish only. Who do you believe should no longer be in the cabinet? If you could elaborate on your last point.
I think I would get rid of General VK Singh and Mahesh Sharma in 1 minute flat. And anybody who made a bad remark should be thrown out of the BJP, because the Prime Minister must make it clear that he doesn't support this kind of nonsense. But this intolerance debate comes on the back of, first there was all that shrieking about the corruption of Sushma Swaraj and Vasundhara Raje. Before that it was the land bill. Then there was the suit boot thing. It's a sustained campaign to discredit this government and prevent it from doing what it should be doing, which is doing something about the economy and about governance.
Okay,
Nalin,
Nalin and then Sushmita. Okay, Nalin, this is coming from somebody who has no sympathy or admiration for the award for the award Wapsi movement, for lack of a better phrase. But this is also somebody who in her blunt way has said General VK Singh and Mahesh Sharma should find no place in the cabinet.
Three things to say. I'll go in reverse order. One is on Tyagi ji. When he was pointing out about the cabinet, Tyagi ji, मैं बड़ी विनम्रता से कहूँगा भाई साहब कि इस वक्त कैबिनेट में कौन रहे ना रहे, मुझे लगता है जेडीयू इससे बचे, क्योंकि नहीं तो आपके कैबिनेट अभी नई बनी है और जो पुराना किस्से और इतिहास है आरजेडी का, उसको लेकर कहीं बाद में चिंताएं ना हो. That's one. Second is on Tavleen ji. Tavleen ji just now raised two specific ministers. I'm going to give a counter viewpoint.
Yeah.
One is on General VK Singh. Admirable job in Yemen. Have you ever seen an operation of that sort, where when bombs are there in a 4-hour window, country after country, including the United Nations, everyone. Let me finish my point. Request. It's a request. Let me finish my point. Ask me a counter question. So therefore, in that also, a job done. Now maybe there is an inelegant usage of words of which he withdraws and apologizes for. Now, by that standard, are we going to remove talent? That authority should be left with the Prime Minister. And the Prime Minister praised that job also. Let's come on on Mr. Mahesh Sharma.
Yeah.
I have seen the complete statement on Dr. Kalam. The edited out version is the first part where he says we shouldn't be talking in terms of Hindu and Muslims and all that. Second part is pulled off. In a total context, it does not come obnoxious or in any way.
He also called Dadri an accident.
No, let me come one
he
by
also
one.
called Dadri an accident.
I'm coming.
Mahesh Sharma also called Dadri an accident.
Yes, I'm going to address that too. So that was on this, the complete statement. So if you feel somebody should be hung for it or somebody should be held responsible, then please, in law, go by the basics, see the entire statement and make up your mind after
allow
that.
Tavleen a quick
let's now
interjection,
let's come to the Dadri issue.
Yeah.
On the Dadri issue,
yeah.
What has Mr. Rajnath Singh quoted? The state report. Is there a communal violence that he speaks of? This, I would call it inelegant use of words, but intention that he was trying to put it in that, no way. We've come on TV, we've said it officially, that's a murder. Murder's a murder. Someone who commits a murder has to be hung for that murder. There can't be any other way of looking at it. He's an Indian citizen.
I'll get a quick response from Tavleen and Sushmita on General VK Singh and Mahesh Sharma. Tavleen.
It's not an inelegant use of words, it's a disgusting use of words. And the general who's been a chief of the Indian Army should have known better. I grew up in the Indian Army and I never heard generals speak that way. And what the Prime Minister, of course it's his prerogative who he wants in his cabinet, but what he should be dwelling on a little is how much damage these people have done him. Yeah. They've actually taken away from any real course that this government should be taking towards improving governance and improving the economy.
Yeah. Now, Sushmita, you still haven't answered my question about Narendra Dabolkar, one of the references that Rahul Gandhi made, assassinated on the Congress watch. And let me tell you what his son told me. His son told me that for him, the only difference between the Congress and the BJP, Sushmita, is that one is pragmatically communal and the other is programmatically communal. So the Congress is not seen either on tolerance, on the record of censorship of books, on emergency. See what Chidambaram said about satanic verses and how many people of your party were ready to back him, just for example. So where is the Congress record of having actually displayed the true spirit of liberalism?
See, Barkha, the difference between Congress and BJP is as follows. You can keep talking about our records vis-a-vis Kalburgi or state government, but never has anybody in the Congress been complicit in any kind of communal violence. Today, BJP and its fringe elements, its wings like Bajrang Dal, Hindu Sena, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, they are all directly associated to this party.
I must respond.
That's the problem. That's the problem of the perception.
Okay, 1 minute.
Youth
Sushmita,
Congress,
who are you accusing?
Youth Congress may have...
The riots,
No,
have you
Youth
forgotten the
Congress,
84 riots?
Absolutely.
Sushmita, 84, 1984.
No, I remember the 84 riots, but why are you or Nalin Kohli not willing to talk about 2002 riots?
How am
I will talk as much. Do a full program on it.
If you're talking about moral culpability,
Sushmita,
if
I
Chief
reported
Minister of
2002.
if Chief
There's no
Minister-
question. Sushmita, I reported 2002.
I
There's
must
no
respond,
question
please.
about. There's no question about blotting out history.
every time the
But
emergency comes up,
Yeah.
every time 84 riots come up, I have never heard the media or anyone in the parliament ever
politics
bring up
has to be
2002
seen in the context of
as often
history.
as that's not
May
fair,
I?
Barkha.
okay, no, Nalin, you've had your say. Tavleen quickly, then Casey Tyagi. Tavleen, what were you
Okay.
trying to say?
I cannot believe, I don't know who this lady is,
Sushmita
but I
Dev,
cannot
Member of
believe that she
Parliament.
just said that the Congress, all
You
right,
won't
well,
know
she-
me.
you know, I mean, she needs to think twice or she needs to read some history because she would know that the Congress party was complicit and defended the violence in 1984 and there's no point in saying don't go into history.
Has it
because
been
politics
proved?
Is
Has
impossible
it been
without
proved?
history. 1 minute, keep
Has
quiet.
it been proved?
Quiet.
Has any court of law said it?
1987 in Meerut. Oh, come on, no one's been punished. Bhagalpur. I mean, what is she talking
Nelly.
about?
Okay.
Ahmedabad.
Let me get in Casey Tyagi. Casey Tyagi, ये प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है ऑपोजिशन के लिए कि जब आप टॉलरेंस की बात करते हैं तो हिस्ट्री में बहुत ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स हैं, उदाहरण हैं जो कि सीधा एक तरह से कांग्रेस पे रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी डालते हैं. तो आपको लगता है कि उससे आपकी मॉरल अथॉरिटी आज पंक्चर होती है जब आप इनटॉलरेंस की बात करते हैं और एलिगेशन बीजेपी पे लगाते हैं?
बरखा जी, हम तो तब बीजेपी के साथ थे जब 1984 हुआ था
जी,
और उन दंगों की हमने तब भी निंदा की थी, आज भी था. वो मैसेकर था, निहत्ते लोग मारे गए थे
दंगे नहीं
और
थे,
हम
कत्लेआम था.
एनडीए में रहते जी, और हम एनडीए में रहते हुए भी जॉर्ज फर्नांडीज ने सूरत में और बड़ौदा में जुलूस निकाला था, मार्च किया था. 2002 के दंगे भी मानवता के नाम पे कलंक था, निहत्ते लोग मारे गए थे, स्टेट चुप था. तवलीन सिंह ने ठीक कहा, मेरठ के दंगे हुए थे, वो भी कत्लेआम हुआ था, मुरादाबाद में हुआ था, भागलपुर में भी हुआ था
जी.
लेकिन भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लोग कांग्रेस के ऊपर उंगली उठाते हुए कब तक गलती करते रहेंगे? कांग्रेस ने गलत काम किया, इतिहास ने उसको 44 पे ला दिया
जी.
आप भी वही गलती करोगे तो क्या 44 पे जाना चाहते
ये
हो
आपका अच्छा
या
सवाल है.
इतिहास से कुछ सबक सीख करके
ये आपका अच्छा सवाल है त्यागी जी.
ठीक करना चाहते हो?
Nalin Kohli, it's a very good question. How long
Tyagi
are
ji.
you going to keep citing the mistakes and the blots of the
Nahin,
Congress?
Tyagi ji.
And you know, one of the things you did not address, you went on about the ministers. The fact of the matter is that Giriraj Singh was quoted on the day of the Bihar verdict, saying that Bihar will now be like Pakistan. Amit Shah, your party president, spoke of firecrackers going off in Pakistan if the BJP were to lose. The Prime Minister's silence on Dadri or delayed response when it did come is something that even his admirers are disturbed by. So let's acknowledge that the Congress has many blots on its record. How does that explain what the BJP is doing today?
No. पहली बात in a little bit in Hindi.
Yes.
Because KC ji had raised it in Hindi.
जी.
तो क्या त्यागी जी, मैं विनम्रता से कहना चाहूंगा, कहीं पर भी किसी प्रकार के दंगे हो, कोई भी मानव की मृत्यु हो, वो एक कलंक है और इस पर कुछ नहीं हो सकता. लेकिन तुरंत कह देना कि भाजपा की सरकार मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में ऐसा कर रही है, तो कहने से पहले, मैं नहीं कह रहा, आप कह रहे हैं, लेकिन जो लोग इसका आरोप लगाते हैं उनको भी तो ये सोचना पड़ेगा कि ये किस आधार पर कह रहे हैं।
if the Prime Minister does not speak on these people.
No, he has spoken repeatedly on the issues when required multiple times. First there were the church attacks. He spoke about it. Every time there is, he does speak about something. He makes it clear. But what I feel, and it's regrettable, is this comes where the Congress is. The Congress party, I'm not saying, I'm showing them a mirror. We are not trying to block away what is incorrect or wrong. But showing the mirror is important also to someone who just doesn't understand democracy. And that's the Congress party. That's why he says, your Prime Minister, your party, this. Comes from the dynasty.
Brief
you can't help it. And Tavleen ji, a request. Send your book, please, to the Congress party spokesperson.
Okay, hang on. You're selectively listening and agreeing with Tavleen, listening to and agreeing with Tavleen. Listen to the other things
I requested her to send a copy of the Darbar.
Okay. KC Tyagi, brief interjection, then Sushmita. Yes. Tyagi ji.
बरखा जी, मैं नहीं कहता हूं। आरबीआई के गवर्नर ने कहा कि अनुशासनहीनता में कटौती। नाउ किरण शाशी सेज, लॉर्ड देसाई सेज, कैलाश सरतार्थी जो नोबेल पुरस्कार मिला है, ही सेज, आरएसएस जो है एमिंग फॉर हिंदू राष्ट्र, एक्स नेवी चीफ एडमिरल रामदास सेज, प्रेसिडेंट प्रणब मुखर्जी टू एनडीटीवी, ही सेज, देन without tolerance, civilization would have survived, would not have survived for 5,000 years. President Mukherjee again says, तो ये हम नहीं कह रहे हैं. Dalai Lama says, now the Christian Missionary Institute says, तो अब इसमें ये नहीं है, इसको बुरा मत माने नलिन जी आप. प्रधानमंत्री से हमारा ये कहना और हमारा मिलकर के इनके प्रधानमंत्रियों से भी कहते थे, कांग्रेस वालों से, अगर सुनो ये खतरे की घंटी है, ये मोदी जी का विकास का एजेंडा भी कामयाब नहीं होने देंगे, क्योंकि इनके अपने अलग एजेंडे हैं जिनके हमने जिक्र किए हैं, ये आपके एजेंडे पे नहीं चल रहे हैं. और याद करो पंजाब का
जी, तवलीन
एक दिन ऐसा हुआ था, प्रकाश सिंह बादल
जी,
आखिरी वर्ड, प्रकाश सिंह बादल जेल में चले गए थे और भिंडरवाला रूल कर रहे थे. कभी किसी दिन ऐसा ना हो जाए.
Tavleen, I think KC Tyagi lists, one minute, let Tavleen come in there. Tavleen, he lists many people who are not what you would perhaps see as the usual suspects. And, you know, whether it's the RBI governor, I'm giving you Jagdish Bhagwati's example, your own formulations on Dadri were very, very blunt and outspoken. Narayan Murthy, Kiran Shaw, Meghnath, these are not people who identify themselves as lefties.
Yeah, I listened. 1 minute, I listened to that list.
Yes.
For a start, read the speech made by the governor of the Reserve Bank and you'll find it's got nothing to do with the present moment.
Absolutely.
He was talking in a very general way and had nothing to do with what the present moment is. Nor did the Dalai Lama's comment have anything to do with it. But to quote Orwell, which I quoted in my column the other day, when a lie is repeated often enough, the truth is erased, the erasure forgotten, and the lie becomes the truth. And the media, and I blame all of us in the media for this, have really helped create this impression that India has gone to the dogs. And it's very wrong, because a lot of people I know who live abroad now believe that India is worse than ISIS.
But Tavleen,
yes, India.
Tavleen,
नहीं, बदनामी देश की हुई है त्यागी जी.
लेकिन तवलीन,
आप लोगों ने इतना हल्ला मचाया है बेबुनियाद.
Tavleen,
Tavleen,
very quickly, I'm out of time, but why do you say the media is responsible? Do we talk about firecrackers going off in Pakistan? Do we talk about Bihar becoming a mini Pakistan? Are we Kailash Vijaywargiya who asked Shah Rukh Khan to go to Pakistan? No, I didn't make up any of this. This was said, Nalin. This was said.
But even when you went on the Shah Rukh thing, I was on your channel, I recall, within minutes, condemning that and clearly saying so. But unfortunately, that is never shown in the same manner, because the negative, and I'm not blaming ABC, the negative seems to get highlighted more, the positive gets killed. Perhaps that's the nature of things. But there's an important point that Tavleen ji is saying.
Okay. But can I say something?
Yes, quickly.
Not in 1 minute.
Quickly, Nalin. Yeah.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I'll tell you how the media is to
can I
blame.
come in?
Yeah.
Why don't we ask, 1 second, when they say intolerance has increased, why do you never ask them to give you examples? Why is it just somebody saying something that we use as a proof of it? Why don't you ask them, please give us lists?
Okay, Sushmita, quick last word on that.
What different today as it was before?
Barkha, I just
Yes, quickly, Sushmita, I've got to close.
I just want to say that people of this country voted for Narendra Modi ji because he told them his agenda was development.
Yes.
But everything that has unfolded in the last 18 months speaks
Incorrect.
otherwise.
That's the
and the
media.
worst thing is his silence on it and his inaction on it. So I hope he'll correct his course of politics.
Okay, we will have to leave it there.
Incorrect.
Thank you. We will have to leave it there, Nalin, for another debate. Tolerance, like everything else in this country, has got deeply politicized. I think that's the one thing we can all agree on, the tolerance debate and the tolerance trenches, as it were. Nalin, Tavleen, K.C. Tyagi and Sushmita, thank you so much for joining us on the Buck Stops here. We'll be taking a quick break. On the other side, an untold story, new revelations. You saw Narendra Modi and Nawaz Sharif meeting in Paris. But 1 year ago in Kathmandu, when the media was told by the government that they were not talking at all and nothing happened except a handshake. They had a secret meeting facilitated by a steel magnate. More on that on the other side.